So, today is Saturday. It's 9:55. I have to leave in about 20 minutes. And you may be thinking, she never goes out without makeup on. You would be observant. I'm getting my hair done today, which is why I didn't put any makeup on, because I have a fringe. Obviously when you wash the hair, this part would all come off, but also because I have a fringe, I wouldn't want it like dripping down my whole face. So I've just got no makeup today, but I am getting my hair done. This is the awful before. Hopefully the after will be much better, but I was thinking this is gonna be some really great reading time. I'm talking like 3-4 hours, I feel like, of reading time. So naturally we need to pick a good book to bring, and I thought we could start a vlog today because, one, getting my hair done is something very exciting that I wanted to vlog, but also I may as well use like the most of my time, you know, and read a book for a vlog. So as you would have already seen by the title, because you clicked on this video, I am going to be reading only vampire books in this vlog. I have 2.5 of our options here in front of me, and then we are waiting for one package which is probably going to arrive at the end of the week. I ordered a book which I'm really excited about, but I ordered the American cover. I found a website that does like fantasy books with the American covers, so I've ordered that, and so when that comes in at the end of the week, we're gonna read that. I really wanted to do like an atmospheric vlog for just before Halloween. You guys aren't gonna see it before Halloween, you're gonna see it after, but for me, I'm hoping this will get me in like the spooky Halloween vibes, because Halloween is this coming week on Thursday, I believe. So let's go through our options and I'll tell you which ones I'm bringing to my appointment. So I'll start with the proper ones first, and then we can talk about the 0.5 option. So the first one we have is Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. I have been meaning to read this for a very long time. I actually got gifted this for Christmas by my mum last Christmas, and it's this gorgeous edition. I don't know if they still look like this, but this is what my one looks like, and it says like never trust, never yield, always guard your heart on the back, and it's just gorgeous. And yeah, I really want to read it before, you know, it's been a year since I've been gifted it. Like, I need to pick it up, like, come on. So this is our first option. This is like vampires, but I believe she's a human, and there's loads of trials that she has to go through. People say it's like the Hunger Games. I don't know. You know how I feel about that, you know? It puts me off, actually, because nothing can be like the Hunger Games, you know? Like, if there's trials, there's trials. Hunger Games wasn't even really trials. Oh, it bugs me. Anyway, I think in this one there's trials that you have to survive, which, again, like I stress, Hunger Games was not trials. It was just one big arena. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so different. Anyway, I am nitpicking, but yep, that's that one. Again, you know I love to go in blind, so I never give you guys much of a synopsis before I've read it, but once I've started it, you'll know more. But I've heard great things about this one. I feel like everyone loved this book last year, and I'm very late to the game in reading it, and I'm hoping that if I like it, I can pick up the other two, because I know the novella just came out in hardback as well, so then I can pick up the novella and the next one, whatever the hell that's called. But yeah, this is our first book. Also, the cover is kind of really cool. I cannot stress this enough, I hate the paperback cover. I think it's gross, but this is gorgeous. And then the next one, which I think I'm going to bring with me to my appointment. I can't guarantee I'll read it, but I think I'm going to bring it. We have From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is like a high fantasy world, and there is wares or something like that, and like vampires, or I don't know. Silly goofy names for werewolves, vampires, that sort of thing. And again, you know me, I don't really know anything. I know that people really like this one, and then it's really hit or miss on whether or not you enjoy the rest of the series. I am very intrigued, and if I like this one, I want to read the rest of the series. I want to own them physically, even though each one of these paperbacks is like the price of a hardback. This is because it's the indie published version. I don't know if it is traditionally published, because I bought this from Waterstones. I don't know if this ever got picked up by traditional publishers, but yeah, there's like a kingdom. That's all I know. I know there's like gods, yeah, werewolves, vampires, all that sort of fun stuff, and I have heard good things about this first one. I know people do like this one, and I follow Emmy Rossum, I think that's how you say her name, and she's read like the whole series and she enjoys them, so I'm intrigued by that one. And then my 0.5 option is the Zodiac Academy. If you have read this, you know that there is in fact vampires in the Zodiac Academy, so that is why I'm like, should I just sneak it into this vlog? Can I get away with also reading a Zodiac book in this vlog? I think what I'm gonna do is, because the 3 books, one's not arrived, I'm gonna wait to show you it before I tell you what it is, but like these 2 books are hefty books, they're big, they're both over 400 pages, and I believe the other book is also around that length, and this one is like 600 and something. So that's a lot of books to fit in a vlog, like that would be a very long vlog. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna focus my main attention for this video on From Blood and Ash, The Serpent and the Wings of Night, and then 3rd book, and then we can read this in the background, because I like to read this one alongside, like I've been reading this series alongside my other videos, so I thought we could do that, but I could actually just share it with you guys this time, how I'm going with book 4 in the Zodiac Academy series, because it's got vampires in it, so it counts, kind of. We're gonna count it. So this is the lineup, plus another book, which is probably in the thumbnail. I don't know why I'm being so secretive, but I don't want to say it until I physically have the copy in my hands. And we're gonna bring From Blood and Ash and my Kindle with me, and we'll just see what I pick. So I have been reading From Blood and Ash. I read like nothing in my hair appointment. I don't really know what happened, but I probably read about 20 pages total between this book and Zodiac Academy. Guys, I don't know what happened. I just like couldn't concentrate. Also, this is the hair. I don't think I filmed since I had it done, but this is it. I just got some like highlights and my colour like refreshed and some layers put in, So this is what we're looking like. But yeah, I have been reading From Blood and Ash. I am now on page 94, so I'm basically 100 pages in, and I'm definitely enjoying it. It's very interesting. Something I'm noticing about the author is that she will, like, tell us something. Like, oh, this happened. Or, like, there's these kinds of people, but then she won't explain anything for like 20 pages. So she'll just like drop something, like she'll talk about like the Ascended, and she'll just be like, oh yeah, it's because I'm not Ascended. And then like we'll go like 20 pages and we'll be like, so what does that actually mean? Like, you've just like dropped this like technical term for this like fantasy world and we don't know what that means. So it is a little bit confusing. Like, you just have to kind of go along with it and accept that eventually you'll figure out what she was trying to tell you, because she will drop like technical terms with a complete lack of explanation. But other than that, I am really enjoying it. I feel like, even though I've read 100 pages, I feel like not a lot has really happened. I mean, a couple of things have happened. We've met some characters, but I feel like nothing's really fleshed out yet. I feel like our main character Poppy isn't super fleshed out yet. Like, I don't really fully grasp her like place and role within this world yet. I am still, you know, waiting for that to be completely explained, because it's like, oh, I'm the maiden, I am the maiden, and I'm like, yeah, but what does that mean? Can I have a little bit more of an explanation, because I don't actually know what that means. So I'm hoping we're gonna get there, because right now I feel like I just have a ton of questions and nothing, literally nothing is being answered. This feels negative. I am really enjoying it. There's a lot of unknown right now, you know? But I am excited to keep reading it. I'm going to read more today, and I have the day off tomorrow, so we're going to try and get a lot of it done then as well. But yeah, things are happening. Also, I did start it at my appointment, like I said, but then I decided I wanted to annotate it yesterday, so I reread what I had already read so that I could annotate it, and I'm glad I did, because like I feel like I had a lot to say. Like, on the first, I mean, you guys would have seen, but on the first page, like, I don't know if you can see that actually, but so much is annotated because, you know, it's the first like 30 pages of a fantasy book. You're gonna have a lot of world building that if you are tabbing, you're gonna want to tab, but that's where we're at with this one. I'm hoping to get this done in the next few days so that we can start Serpent and the Wings of Night, and we're still waiting for the other book to be delivered, but it said anywhere between the 30th of October and like the 3rd of November or something, so hopefully during like the second half of this week is when it's gonna arrive, and I'm so excited. I went to read more from Blood and Ash just now, and I realised I didn't give you guys an update after I read yesterday. And I read a lot yesterday. I think I read over 100 pages. Or just under 100 pages. Actually, I don't remember where I was. I don't remember where I was, but I am now on page 140. Sorry. I am now on page 141, which is chapter 21, which is just under the 50% mark. And I have a lot more thoughts and feelings and theories to do with this book. And I am really enjoying it. I have been looking on the Waterstones website and Amazon, seeing where the cheapest place will be to buy the next book, because I do find myself wanting to continue the series thus far. I'm enjoying Poppy. I'm enjoying seeing, you know, her like characterization and learning kind of who she is as a person and how she fits into the like dynamic of this world, and also some of like the side characters. I have a theory on one of the side characters. I wrote it down in the book, and I also messaged my friend about it who has read this book too, just in case like I'm right with my theory. I wanted there to be proof, you know, that I thought it before I read it. So yeah, I do have a theory which I can't say, but I feel like I'm right. I feel like I'm correct, and I'm very excited to see if I am correct. I want to get a whole bunch of this done right now, like loads of it, like preferably another 150 pages would be amazing. I'm just gonna read for the rest. Oh my god, it's only 5:20.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was like 7 o'clock. When I tell you guys, I can actually show you because you won't even be able to see anything. Hold on. Pitch black outside. 5:20. That shocked me. I was gonna say read for the rest of the evening. It's not even really evening yet, it's still the afternoon. I had no idea it was only 5:20. Well, I guess I thought I had maybe like 2-3 hours of reading time. I have like 6, so, you know, I'm gonna read forever. Who knows, maybe I'll finish this. I have so much more time than I thought I did. I can't believe how early it is. That's insane. We're gonna read this for the next few hours, hopefully get loads of it done, because I'm so intrigued. It's very slow paced, and usually I'm not a fan of that and I get really bored, but for some reason I'm so invested in just the world that we're in that I'm quite enjoying the slow paced, you know, vibe of it. Like, there's stuff happening, but I can tell like the overarching plot of the whole thing is moving very slowly, which is very interesting because I'm still really enjoying it. Like, if you were to ask me what has happened, there's probably about 3 big things that have happened, but it's still really good. And yeah, I'm just enjoying learning about all of our characters. I do really like Poppy, our main character. I think... Oh, it's Roxy. Perfect, Roxy's home. I'm gonna go and FaceTime her in 1 second when I'm done here. But I like that, you know, she knows when to stand up for herself. She knows when to like fight for what she believes in, but she also knows how to like keep herself safe and, you know where those boundaries are in terms of her own safety. I don't know. I really like her as a character so far. I think she's good. I think she's very, like, a very strong character, and I'm intrigued to see where we go moving forward with her. So I'm gonna go and FaceTime Roxy, and I'm just gonna read as much of this as I can on FaceTime, and I will update you guys if I have anything more I want to say. Good afternoon, or good morning actually. It's 11:41. It is the next day, and I am happy to report that I did manage to finish From Blood and Ash last night. I got it done really early actually, I think around 10. You know what, guys, we're just gonna have to ignore the background noises because there's a lot of them today. But actually I feel like, where is this siren going? It stopped. Yeah, I managed to finish From Blood and Ash last night, which I'm so happy about. I really enjoyed it. I ended up giving it a 4.5 stars on Goodreads. I had so much fun with this one. I really wasn't expecting it, because when you go on Goodreads and you scroll down and you see the reviews from people that you like don't follow, all of those were 1 stars. And I was like, ooh, maybe this isn't going to be that good of a book. I don't know if, like, I don't have great reading taste, or maybe those people don't have great reading taste. I don't know. All I know is that I was thoroughly invested in all of this. I also see a lot of people say that they're not really there for the plot, but they do like the romance. I was loving the plot. I was so invested in the plot and the plot twist. Like, I was here for them, genuinely. Yeah, I was enjoying the plot twist. I was, like, thoroughly invested in the plot, because I do feel like the romance was quite slow moving. So if you're not enjoying the plot, you may not like this book that much. But I was invested in the plot. I'm invested in, like, what's going on in the world and the politics of everything, and, you know, just everything that's going down. I'm very invested in it. My prediction that I told you guys I had was correct. Thank you very much. I did figure it out. I'm not too mad about that. I actually feel quite clever for figuring it out. It may have been really obvious. It may have been. But nonetheless, I figured it out, and I'm happy about that. But yeah, I am intrigued. I'm so intrigued for where the next few books are gonna go. Because things are just going in a very different direction to how you would have expected. Which is fun. I will say it's quite slow paced, to be honest. It's very slow, and usually I don't like that. I'm one to get bored with books quite quickly if they're moving really slowly. I like something a little bit more fast paced, but this, I was really into it. Like, I was just happy to be in the world with the characters, you know, like, that's how much I was enjoying it. So, you know, and as you would have seen, I did order the next 2 books, so they should be arriving by the end of the week or early next week. We'll probably still be filming this vlog when they arrive, so I will happily haul them for you. But I can't wait for them to arrive, because I really just want to continue on with this series. Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed this book. Like, I'm sad I don't have any more of it to read at the moment. I wish I did, but nonetheless, we are done with it. So today we are going to be picking up the second book for the vlog, which is going to be Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. I predict I'm also going to really enjoy this one. I think I've mentioned it time and time before, but I am a vampire girl to my core. Like, I love vampire stories. If you give me a vampire story, I'm automatically like, it cannot get lower than like a 3.5, because there's vampires in it, and I just love vampire stories. I think they're phenomenal, you know, die-hard Twilight fan right here, so, you know. So I think just the fact that this is vampires, I'm obviously gonna like it, but I do think I'm gonna really like it. I'm predicting 4-star or above. I think I'm gonna have fun with this one. I'm very excited to read it. I know there's like a human girl, but she's been adopted by a vampire king, and then she has to like do these trials that are held by a goddess, and she meets this like hot vampire guy called Rain, you know, typical things, typical. But I think it's gonna be great. That's kind of all I know. That's kind of all I want to know. It's kind of all I need to know going into this, and I'm so excited. I'm so late to the party with this one, but I'm happy to be here nonetheless. And book 3 comes out next month in November, I think November 19th. So if I like this, I'm gonna have to move quickly and read the others so that I can read the 3rd one soon to when it releases. But we're gonna pick this up now. It is almost 12. I have to leave for work at 1:30. So we should be able to start this book now before I go. And then I'm home alone tonight. Leon is away to watch a football match, so I will get some reading done in the evening after work as well. I thought that we could do a little update while I wait for my food to cook, because I have read so much of The Serpent and the Wings of Night today. I read a whole bunch before work, and then I read loads at work, on my way to work, on my way home from work. I have just not wanted to put this book down. Any moment I have had to read it, I have been reading it, let me tell you. And let me tell you, guys, I'm on page 189 of this book, and I started it at about 11 a.m. this morning, and I just did a 6-hour shift. When I tell you guys, I am thoroughly enjoying this. Like, I do not want to put it down. I actually left my lunch break, I came back from my lunch break a little bit late because I was like, oh my god, I just have to finish this chapter. Like, I don't want to stop reading it. It's so good. Once again, why the hell did I not pick this up sooner? I'm so mad at myself. It's really, really good. It's so fun. It's so fun. I feel like the world that we're in is really unique. You know, with a lot of my favorite vampire stories, they are vampires in the real world. You know, like an Edward Cullen type situation. That's not what this is, and it's so interesting. In this world, there is different courts and kings and queens and what have yous, and they're all vampires, and then there's some human territories, or there's some human villages within these kingdoms, but for the most part the vampires are ruling the show. And it's so unique, and it's not well, I don't know if it's that unique. I just don't know if I've been reading more magical realism type vampire stories where they're in the real world. Someone's slicing up the road outside, so ignore that. Yeah, so we're basically following Araya. Yeah, Araya. I think that's how you say her name. And she is the human daughter, I say in quotation marks, of this vampire king. And he is the king of the Nightborn king. She is not his real daughter. Basically, there was a war-esque type thing. That's not the word they use. I've forgotten the word they use. And he found her, and he took her back in a nice way. Honestly, he seems like a great dad. Don't get the wrong impression. He didn't, yes, he took her, but, he found her in, not a good situation. And I think he wanted to keep her safe, and he wanted to protect her, and he felt for the first time in his life that he actually truly cared about this human child. And obviously they're kind of humans are food, you know, he's not meant to care about a human child, but he really cares about Araya, and he wanted to keep her safe, and he taught her my food's ready. he taught her how to like protect herself, keep herself safe within this world, and basically she doesn't want to be powerless. She wants to be as powerful as him. She wants to be able to save all the humans and everything like that. And basically he's like, well, I think it's every century there is this trial, there is this game, and if you win you can ask the goddess Nyaxia for a wish. And Nyaxia is the mother of all vampires, like she's mother, you know, and she can ask for a wish. And basically we're following her going through these trials. But I'm just gonna wrap this update up really quick. But yeah, we're basically following Araya through these trials. It takes place over 4 months. Like, the whole trials situation is over 4 months, which is kind of really crazy to me. I was like, that's a long time. You know, usually these books take place over like a week, maybe 2. 4 months? I was like, oh my god. Okay. The pacing of this book is interesting because she's kind of like skipping through the time in between the trials. You know, like we do a trial and then it's like, oh, blank and blank, we've been training for a week and a bit now. And I was like, what? We've just skipped a week and a half like that. Like, we don't really know what she's up to in between the trials, but we do know what she's like doing in the trials. And we get a few scenes throughout. You get, what am I trying to say? Basically, there's 3 weeks in between each trial, and you're not getting 3 weeks worth of content. You still see them a lot in between, obviously. We're not just going straight from trial to trial, but you're not seeing, you know, 3 weeks worth of our characters. But I'm not minding it. You know, like, I feel like we're seeing what's important. There's just not a lot of, like, filler, like, oh, we did this, and then we did that, and then we were doing this. You don't get that, you know? There's no, like, fillery moments, if you will. But that's kind of my main update. The romance hasn't really kicked in yet, but our the characters that are going to form the romance are starting to build their bond, you know? But I'm just quite intrigued on where this is going to go, because I feel like there's going to be a plot twist in here somewhere, and I'm very intrigued, and I'm hoping to finish this in the next couple of days. I mean, I'm already almost 200 pages through, and I'm gonna read more tonight, so I reckon I'll be able to get halfway through today, if not more. So who knows, maybe we'll finish it tomorrow. At this rate, it's looking likely, because I've read a lot, but I'm really, really, really enjoying it. Guys, the next books in the From Blood and Ash series arrived, and they're the wrong size. I'll show you what I mean, hold on. This is them. I feel like they're still not like regular. Are they regular paperback size? I can't tell, but guys, look. Oh, it's so sad. Why is it a different size? I'm really sad about it. I'm gonna keep them because I can't be bothered. But that is sad, but I feel like, is it a normal... No, okay, some like weird, slightly, can you see that? It's like slightly, like, bigger than a regular paperback. Can you see that? How weird is that? When, my other copy though didn't have a map, like my From Blood and Ash does not have a map. So I'm excited that this one does. Interesting. Well, we have A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, and we have The Crown of Gilded Bones. So this is book 2 and 3 in the From Blood and Ash series. I'm not mad about the size of these books. I just hope that, like, I don't know, if I continue to buy the rest of this series and the other series, like, that they'll at least be this size going forward, because I don't want them to, like, continue to be varying heights. We're in the exact same spot, guys, but my package from Sci-Fi just arrived, and I also went to Waterstones after my class, So I thought I could give you guys another haul. 2 clips in a row, you guys are getting a haul. So first off, I bought 6 Scorched Roses and the Ashes and the Star-Cursed King from Waterstones. And I'm so excited about these because look at stunning. And then on the back it says, I'll take 1 night, 1 hour, 1 minute. When? But this is a standalone. Winnie. When? This is a standalone novella within the Crowns of Nyaxia series world, because you have Serpent and the Wings of Night and the Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, and that's the Nightborn duet. And then a new duet is coming out on the 19th, and then this is just like a little standalone novella within the world. And then I also obviously got the sequel to Serpent and the Wings of Night, and this one also is gorgeous underneath. It's more similar to Serpent and the Wings of Night in its like colour scheme and covers. So these are gorgeous. And then on the back it says, love is a sacrifice at the altar of power, which is a really cool quote. I really like that. So yeah, I got those. I'm really happy with them and I'm so excited to continue on in this world. And then let's open the package. Oh my god. So, first of all, I got 2 little bookmarks, which is fun. I really like this one. And then here's the book. She's gorgeous. Oh my god. This is the American edition of Immortal Dark. I can't believe I'm holding this in my hands right now. This is gorgeous. This is really, really stunning. The most convoluted map I have ever laid my eyes on. What's that? Yeah, this is the American cover, which I just loved. On the front it says, seek mind above blood, and if you must bleed, use it as ink. That's sick. That is so cool. But that's our haul. While we are here, I shall give you an update because I am now 292 pages into The Serpent and the Wings of Night. I'm planning to finish it today, so I thought I would give you one last update before I finish it. I'm really enjoying it, but I'm not gonna lie, I cannot predict where it's going. I think I can maybe like a little bit, but not really all that much. Like, I'm not too sure where we're going with this. But there's beginning to be a few little like romantic hints of like, oh, maybe there's like a little bit of a connection here, you know? And basically I don't really think it's a spoiler because she's in these trials and only one person can win, and it's like the last person alive basically, but she's made allies with this guy in the games, in the trials, and she's basically thinking like, she's starting to think, I don't know if I'm going to be able to kill this man. You know, like in order to win. She's like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. Like, I saw this coming from a mile away. But it's so good. I really, really like Rain's character. I think he's a very interesting character and he's slightly different to how I was expecting him to be. So that's been quite fun and interesting. You know, him being different to what I assumed he would be like. I'm enjoying the other characters. I'm very apprehensive of the dad. I'm not sure if I trust him. He seems like a good father, but is that all he is? You know, like, I don't know if he's a good ruler. He's the king of, I believe, the Nightborn territory. I don't really know. Listen, But like, yeah, like he seems like a good dad. He seems like he really cares about Araya, but I don't know if he's good at anything else, you know? So I'm apprehensive about him. Hello everyone, so it's now Saturday. I believe I last spoke to you guys on Thursday, maybe, and I have some updates since then. So we did actually end up finishing The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. Guys, it was so good. I ended up rating this one a 4.5 stars. I just enjoyed my time reading this book so much. It was phenomenal. I haven't stopped thinking about it. Like, I need to read the next book for this vlog, but really I just want to pick up The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King because I can't stop thinking about these characters in this world. I really enjoyed myself with this one. The ending did kind of get me. Like, I wasn't expecting the plot twist. I didn't really predict anything in this book. I wasn't really trying to. I was just there for the vibes, you know? I wasn't like actively trying to figure out what was going to happen, but it did surprise me. Wasn't expecting that one. Probably should have, you know, hindsight. But yeah, I was like shocked. I wish I got my reaction to reading the end of this book yesterday morning, because I was like, whoa. Oh my god, this is crazy, you know? It was just so good. The plot, I was there for. The characters, yeah, I was there for. Like, the secrets, the deception, what am I trying to say here? I don't know. I think I'm just trying to say that I really enjoyed it, which is great. You know, I'm definitely going to be reading the next book soon, I hope, like next week, because I just had so much fun with this one, and I honestly have no idea where the rest of the story could go, so that is very interesting. And then I did pick up Immortal Dark yesterday, but a new Sims pack came out on Thursday night, and I've just been playing with that, so I didn't manage to get too much done of Immortal Dark. I literally think I read, oh my goodness, we're falling out, chapter 6, which is page 23, which is also crazy. The chapters are literally like 3 pages long. But yeah, that's where I got to. Not very far. We're just obviously laying the groundwork of this fantasy world that we're in. But I am intrigued. We're basically following, what's her name? Kidan? Kidan. I'm gonna go with Kidan. And she is basically, her sister has gone missing, and she believes that she's been taken against her will to this like vampire university, because in this world there are vampires, but vampires are limited to drinking blood from only a select group of families. There's like 50 odd families for all of the vampires to like feed from, and our character's family is one of those families, so she believes that her sister has been taken to the vampire university by one of the vampires is allowed to feed from their family. And basically then, I'm literally 20 pages in, so none of this is a spoiler. Their aunt dies. Their parents were already dead, and their aunt was kind of their guardian, and she dies. And the aunt has a house in the town of this like university. It's called Uxley, I think. The aunt like had a house there, and basically our main character finds out the house was her parents and then it went to the aunts, or the aunt, sorry, and our main character finds out that basically the house has been signed, or will be signed over to the vampire that can like feed from their family, I think, roughly. And the like headmistress of this university is basically like, if you come to our university, you can get your house back, pretty much. So there's that like ultimatum, and also that's where she thinks her sister is. So basically, I imagine she's gonna go to the university. I mean, it kind of says it in the plot, in the synopsis, but yeah, so far this book is phenomenal. I was looking at like the vibes on Pinterest, it looks great. It's a full POC cast, which is just incredible, and I love that. The dedication was really lovely in this book too. I really liked it, but I'm going to be reading more of this today, and I'm excited to see where it goes. You can see the reflection of my light. Yeah, I'm really intrigued to see where it goes, and hopefully when I come home today from work we'll be like 150 odd pages in. That would be really nice. I wanted to do a really quick update before I left for work. I have been reading Immortal Dark, obviously. I'm pretty far in now. Well, I'm like a decent way in now. I am on page 136. I believe I'm about 30% of the way in, and I definitely have some thoughts. So, this book is Tigist Gummer's, I hope I said that right, it's her debut novel. And I feel like the concept is really interesting and it's really cool and the idea of it is good, but I feel like it's not being executed in the best way. And I don't mean that in a rude way, I just feel like there's something just not quite perfect with it. I feel like the pacing is a bit off. So I saw a lot of people saying that the chapters are really short in this book, and they are. And don't get me wrong, we all love a short chapter. These are, dare I say, too short. I mean, look, I'll give you an example. Chapter 22, 3 pages. Chapter 23 is only 2 pages. Like, and then even the longer ones are only about 5 pages. Like, it's just, they're too short. I feel like not enough is happening in the chapters, like, to progress the story, to warrant the chapters being that short. Like, I feel like not a lot is really happening in the chapters, and it's making the story feel like really choppy, and like we're constantly jumping, because you know, like when a chapter finishes, sometimes you're like teleported to a new place and time in the world, like you move forward, you know, you're not like, it's not as gradual. But when the chapters are like 2 to 3 pages, like every few pages we're somewhere new and different and the story has like shifted and changed, and it feels almost quite unnatural. Like I feel like everything could be elaborated on a bit more. I feel like we could just be in the scenes for longer, to be honest. So that's my main issue with it, because I do feel like the story is really interesting, because we're following our main character, Hidan, and obviously her sister's gone missing, and she believes that it's been taken by these vampires that live in this like university world type place. And the like headmistress of this university comes and is like, this vampire is has been left to your house, like your parents and your aunt left the house to this vampire. And she's like, no, absolutely not, because she doesn't really like the vampires. And the headmistress is like, well, if you join the school and you pass like the year, then you can like keep your house, you can claim your house. So she goes, and it turns out this vampire that is like inheriting her house is the vampire that she has been told took her sister. So there's kind of that, and she's trying to like figure out, or like she believes he did it, but she's trying to get proof so that she can prove he did it. And then there's the whole thing with the house, and the house is almost like a bit sentient kind of, because the house like creates these rules and you have to like learn what the house rule is, if that makes sense. Yeah, so you have all of that. I also feel like all of the characters are just not fleshed out really at all. Like I can't really distinguish between the characters as of right now. So that's kind of where I'm at with the story. I think the chapters are too short. I feel like no one has ever said that in the history of ever. But like, even flicking through, like, they are all really, really short. Yeah. Like, the difference between this and like the Lord of the Rings. The Lord of the Rings chapters take me like an hour to read, like one chapter, and this is taking me like 2 minutes. That's mainly my main issue. I feel like if I can get past the chapters being short, I might be able to immerse myself more in the story. But also the chapters being that short is making the book less immersive. Like, it's just not as immersive because you haven't got the time to sink into the chapter before it's taken away from you and you're onto a new one, you know? So, but we had 2 phenomenal reads in this vlog, so I feel like it had to decline even slightly at some point. So yes, that's where I'm at with this one. However, I forgot that I had a book to read for university. I need to read Giovanni's Room. So I will not be taking this to work with me. I will be reading Giovanni's Room for my class tomorrow. But I'm hoping to finish that today at work so we can get back to this book this evening and tomorrow. Hello everyone, I am finally back. I hope this lighting is okay because it is about 11 o'clock at night, but I really need to get this video up tomorrow, so we're filming the outro now after work, so I hope this is okay. But yes, we are here to wrap up the vlog finally. It feels like I've been filming this for a millennia, but let's wrap up the vlog because it was a wonderful reading vlog and I had the most fun I think I've ever had filming a video during this one. So the first book that we finished was From Blood and Ash. I think I ended up giving this one a 4.5. I loved it. Yes, I think about 4.5 I gave this one. I thoroughly enjoyed my time with this one, to be completely honest. You may also hear clicking in the background. Yeah, I loved this one. I ordered the next 2 books. I've yet to start them, but I cannot wait to read the other books in the series, and hopefully some of them will feature in vlogs. But yeah, I just loved the characters, I loved the plot, I loved everything in this book. It was so entertaining for me. I didn't really have any complaints other than the fact that things could have maybe been explained a little bit faster. It took a large amount of pages for me to fully like understand an information point that was revealed, if that makes sense. Yeah, I feel like everything took a while to be explained to me, and I maybe would have appreciated that being a little bit faster. But other than that, honestly, like, I loved all of our characters. I like that the plot, like, it was fresh, it kept you on your toes, like, unexpected things were happening. And I like the romance that is brewing. I liked I just liked all of it. But I feel like I spoke about this one a fair amount earlier on in the vlog, so we're gonna move on to the second book that I read, which was Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. I think this one may have just slightly been better than From Blood and Ash. Like, I think I preferred it slightly more, but again, this was also a 4.5. I didn't rate it any higher, but just like looking back, I think I have the fondest memories of this one. Winnie's meowing at the wall. Win! Yeah, once again, I thought it was a really unique way to explore the classic vampire. It was a little bit different, same as From Blood and Ash, to be honest. Yeah, it was fresh, it was a little bit different. It also had a really good, like, romance building. I think there was a slightly similar twist to From Blood and Ash, but honestly, wasn't complaining. Really enjoyed it. Very interesting play on like family in this book. If you've read it, I feel like you could know what I mean. I really enjoyed that. I don't know if this is a spoiler, but I really love the trope of like our main character thinking that one thing is bad, and then, or like thinking that their side is good, and then they find out that actually their side isn't the good side, you know? I love that micro trope. I think it's very fun to explore and play around with. But yeah, again, spoke about this extensively. What we're really here for is Immortal Dark, because I gave you guys very few and far between updates, and that is because I was very aware of how incredibly long this vlog is, and I didn't want, you know, loads of b-roll of the same thing we've already seen with the other two books, so I just left it, you know, minimal. But I can give you my full thoughts because I did finish this one. So I settled on a 3.75 star for this one. It definitely, for me, was not as good as the other two, which is sad because I really thought it was going to be on par. I think there was so many strong elements to this book, and this is her debut novel, so we have to bear that in mind, and I definitely did while I was reading it, and I wasn't, you know, trying to be too harsh on it. I thought the concept was really interesting. The representation in this book was very important and something that we're seriously lacking in literature, so I really enjoyed that, you know, this was such an extensive POC cast. Like, yes, we are lacking that. I feel like every book these days has like one or two characters who aren't white, and that's like not cool. So I really enjoyed, you know, like the polar opposite with this one. It was very refreshing. Yeah, the plot was really interesting. I could see the beginnings of some very unique and interesting characters. I just feel like things, again, were not explained enough, but not like, for me at least, I don't know if I was being stupid, but it wasn't like From Blood and Ash when eventually you could figure it out. I felt like with this, it felt like I was missing the key part of the information. Like, I was waiting for the penny to drop. Like, something would happen and I'd be like, I don't know what this means, I don't know why this is important, and I just kind of had to take their word for it that it seemed like it was important, if that even remotely makes sense. So yeah, I could see really strong, like a very strong baseline for what this hopefully will shape up to be in the other two books in this trilogy. I believe it's going to be a trilogy. Like, I think it has such potential. I just think that writing style needs to develop a little bit more, because the story that she was trying to tell was good. It was. Just the way it was happening, I felt like a lot of it was just going straight over my head and I didn't know what was happening. But ultimately, I did still enjoy it. I mean, 3.75 is a good rating. It is. It was a good book. I want to continue the series. I am intrigued. I think we left off on an interesting point. I want to know where it goes. But ultimately, it just wasn't my all-time favourite. And that's fine. It was still good. And I really do think this author has so much potential. And I'm excited to see what else she does. But that is the end of this vampire reading vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed. I had the most phenomenal week and a half, I think. Yeah, I had the most phenomenal, roughly week and a half reading all of these books. It was such a fun time. I mean, look at this. Look at this lineup of vampire books. Are you kidding me? Phenomenal. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm sorry it's such a long one, I know. If you made it this far, let me know if you prefer the shorter ones or the longer ones, because, you know, I can always just do 2 books in a vlog to make it shorter. Let me know what you prefer if you made it to this point. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Goodbye!